Welcome to Empowered by AI. I'm Michelle Muncie Silva. This podcast is for women building what's next and using AI with intention. In Season 7, you'll hear from founders, entrepreneurs, business builders who are redefining success, creating on their own terms, and moving with intention. We're learning from conversations about reinvention, identity, and taking action because every episode gives you ideas you can use immediately. Let's get into it.
We'll just introduce you to everyone really quickly. So let's just take a minute and give you some space and time to tell everyone a little bit about who you are.
Michelle, this podcast is so needed and it's so amazing. So I'm just so happy to be part of it. I am a nervous system coach. I come from the background of big adrenaline life. My life has been full of adrenaline. I've lived in many continents, many countries. I navigated, change in many different ways. I'm a rock climber with 30 years of what I like to call living on the side of the wall. And I run a business, transformational coaching business for people to bring that, the gift of my life that I've learned, what I've experienced, bring that into the world with my unique angle. And so I really focus my whole journey of high achievement, meaning in my case, climbing really high things. My journey of high achievement, overriding my nervous system, running a successful business that crashed on me. All of that had brought me into much deeper understanding of our biology and how to work with ourselves in a sovereign way that doesn't follow the patriarchal recipe for, I don't want to be mean, but there's a exploitative element to the world we're living in right now. And we're all swimming in it. I'm trying to fit a lot into this inch.
No, life is good. Life is good. Keep going.
But to really go back to the biology and listen to the body and then create powerfully from our innate hunger and human need to create anything. Is it a business? It's change, raising children, AI. We all innately have it. It's just that we're so burned out from trying to do it the exploitive way that we're often out of touch with it. And that's been my journey and something I love to work with people.
Mhm. I'm really interested. You said like that exploitation. I'm curious, what started to feel off for you in your previous life before you made your transition to the coaching? What was it that was not working and you're just thinking, I cannot keep doing this the same way?
It was not pretty and it wasn't pleasant. And I actually started coaching high performance. So I came in and I was like, well, obviously from my high performance, I'm going to coach high performance. And we're all on a journey, and for many people, it helps them. People that are stuck, procrastinating, high performance is a beautiful thing to lean into. But what I started noticing, and I learned it the hard way, that there was just a lot more. And the simplest way to name it is, what fuel am I using to achieve the things that I want to achieve, right? Am I doing it from I'm not enough? Or am I doing it from I am, there is no problem. I just want to go and create something more beautiful in the world, right? Those are two nervous system modes.
Yeah.
Right? So for anyone that's listening, it can be a hard moment, and it took me a while to realize, oh, I am trying to prove. I am still running away from being a person that grew up in Eastern Bloc and wanted to get away from the crappy country she was born in, and I wanted to go and prove to the world that I can be a strong climber, successful. I can run a business. I can make 6 figures. And there was a moment where my body said, you are done. You're no longer doing this. We're benching you.
Did you bench yourself?
I woke up and one day and I was like, I am all out of strategies to keep the candle burning. I am folding. And it felt like death. It felt like ego death of like, if I'm not this, then who?
Yeah.
And it's to go all the way to the base of just being human and not being exceptional. Not that we aren't, but not trying to be exceptional and gain the world's approval, but to go, I am here and what is true to me. In other words, what song do I want to sing to the world?
And I love that you brought up strategy, because I think a lot of people think that entrepreneurship is just about strategy, right? And I have found that it is much more for women about what you just brought up, that identity recalibration. And it's sometimes filled with really, really uncomfortable moments. So I'm curious, what felt uncomfortable for you about owning this new way of perceiving your identity?
Well, Michelle, these are the questions that go into the heart of everything, and I will try to be concise. Um, and it has to do with the systems that we live in. As women, we get very early, and I was taught this, to overfunction on all fronts. I came from a matriarchal family, and so we had to do everything. We had to make the money, cook, clean, be the emotional labor, and be stronger than men because it's harder to make it out there. So I was taught that being a woman means working 10 times harder than anyone around me. I didn't know that's what I was doing, but I was doing, right? It's unconscious. We go, oh yeah, that's what is needed of me. And so this is the system we live in. And as long as we play along and not ask to be equal, the system continues. So I woke up one day and I decided I don't need to do 10 times over the work. This isn't about my husband. It's not about people I work with. It's about me. It's about how I relate to me. I can rest. I can do what I want. I can love my body. I can listen to my body. These are radical concepts for overworked founders.
Yeah.
I know it sounds simple, but when you really sit down to it, most of people I work with, they sit down and go, I cannot afford this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if I answered your question.
No, you did, because I'm thinking of there's this concept has kind of come to me recently, where it's the idea of independence as a costume, right? We put on this costume of exactly what you said, which is moving at 10 times the speed because 10 times the expectation exists. And it's really putting ourselves into an independence that's been defined by someone else, right? And God love every single woman that came before me who walked in that path, right? It's like I always say my mom was a boomer. She did the best that she could with what she had, right? So I look at it not from any place of judgment. I look at it from, we don't know what we don't know. So we oftentimes think, okay, so if that was the path that they walked, then I need to bring that path into my entrepreneurial efforts. But what I'm hearing you say is that it can be different. And so what I'm wondering, if someone listening wants to transition, right? In the next 12 months, they want to walk that independent path. What should they focus on that would allow them to shed that costume of the independent path only being what someone else said it was?
Yeah, it's That's exactly it. I just wanted to underscore that I'm so grateful to my ancestors, my mom, my grandmother, for allowing me to come to a nervous system place where I can do this work. I wouldn't be able to do it without them. And there's a growing movement. Your podcast is part of that movement. She Leads AI is part of that movement of really giving, and that's why I love your circle so much, really telling women it's time for us to claim our rightful power. We've always had it, we just weren't inhabiting it, right? We were letting things slide, we were letting ourselves overfunction and all this. So going back to your question, a radical idea is not to abandon yourself. I'm gonna tell it in a way of a story because this is just something that's current for me. I created this coaching app and I have currently people testing it. Just like, is this gonna help? Basically, is what I'm trying to find out. So I have a tester who is in a relationship with her husband that's difficult. And she's been testing this for 3 weeks. And I met with her and she said, what I didn't understand all along, and this coaching app has helped me understand, and this is the power of coaching, right? Any good coaching will bring this. What I understood that I always, all my life, was stepping into my husband's frame and I was working from there. He had a frame in the patriarchal frame of how to be in the world. And anytime there was a conflict, she would abandon her frame of whatever it is that she believes that her heart's about and go and argue with him in his frame. No, I don't need to hustle more, right? For example, right? This is still stepping into the other person's frame. So what we're being called right now as women, we're rising. It's undeniable. It's beautiful. And what we're being asked, and that's what your podcast is doing, is to hold our frame. We are coming from here. This is what's true to us. And we'll speak from this frame that relationships are important, that environment is in our heart and body, that we're inclusive, that we protect the children, and so on and so on. A long answer. I will wrap this up by saying this work starts in our nervous system. So a woman who wants to run her business in this way, it's reorienting to your own nervous system versus to what's being told. Oh, do this. This is going to be a good business move. Not that we can't take advice, of course, but to be aware what's going on in us. And our nervous system is very simple. It will tell us what feels good and what feels uncomfortable, right? And there's more to it, obviously, right? There's things like hormetic stress, meaning purposeful stressing of your nervous system to be more resilient. But as women, we intuitively have an idea what is right for us. And at the very base, that's that journey.
That's fascinating. And I'm thinking of the word instinct is coming to mind. Because so often we lose that. We learn to not listen. I don't think it's that direct. I think it's more we recognize that in so many of our environments, we need to push that aside. Because of course, as you mentioned, when you're walking into someone else's frame, in order to do that and to stay in that, you sometimes have to ignore being true to yourself. So I can understand how
we got brainwashed to believe this.
Right. So I think there are parts of entrepreneurship that are harder than people admit because they think it's about business, right? I mean, is that understatement of the year?
That's what I was going to say. I'm like, that's like understatement of my whole life. Oh my God, so much. And I also want to say that I believe, and this comes from Nassim Taleb, actually, who is the author of The Black Swan and a book called Anti-Fragile. And it also, to me, it's all about the nervous system. But it's also, I think, the fastest way to evolution, basically, because we are responsible for every single thing, and it's ultimately back up to us. And if we do entrepreneurship consciously, which is, I think, the only way to do it, or else we're wasting time and being extractive. If we do it consciously, we get so much growth out of that. And growth is uncomfortable.
Hugely so. And I'm curious, in your journey, what are you no longer willing to sacrifice? Like, what does success look like for you now that you've done this work?
I renewed my vows to myself this week. I do these desert quests with people. So we go and sit in a desert and we fast. And so I just finished one of those on Tuesday. This is Friday today. I'm still kind of writing that. But I made some vows to myself, and the vow is to keep on reorienting to my song, to my frame, what it is that I know I can trust myself. I know I am incredibly creative. I am attuned to the world and others. And so it's critical for me at this moment not to get sidetracked by what would be a good business move that would make me money, or what is it that would sell on LinkedIn, which I sometimes fall into. So what everybody's hearing right now is my groundedness with this comes from that time that I just sat with the earth and took her counsel in, and but it feels really true to me, right? And we get to take this and we get to test it with the world, and we have varying amounts of success and learning, and it's just a mixed bag always, right? Because we get to learn. But what I'm reorienting to is that, and whenever I feel external motivation of like, oh, that would make me money or that would make me look good, I really slow down and listen. Is this really the song that I want to be singing to the world?
What's next for you in that groundedness? What is next in your journey?
I'm working with women that are using AI, working with AI, women leaders who are starting to feel that AI is a perfect storm for our nervous system. It creates a breakthrough moment, and it can, everybody listening, it can feel to you like you're losing your mind, like you can no longer keep up with the pressure. It might feel to you like you have 77 tabs open and 14 emails that you're halfway through, and Claude Code is creating something for you right now that you need to run by whatever, some other thing, right? I'm
I feel
speaking
so
from a
seen.
right. I'm talking about my things that's right.
They were talking about mine. I was like, process via tabs.
Right. So I see AI, there's so much how we can talk about it, but I see it as the thing that will really, how we use it, how we choose to use it together with our biology. This is going to really separate people who are going to thrive. I use that word other than saying be successful, because successful means has a different connotation with financially successful, but to thrive in your life on your terms. That's if you can harness the power of AI without giving your soul and body to its power. We're just learning this. This is so new to us, right? The speed of it, the lack of friction. Our biology doesn't know what to do with this. What's coming for us? Oh, and I just want to also mention the dopamine loop, right? The addicting effect of this that is wonderful, right? It's not, nothing is wrong about it, but it is up to the user to discern what actually is useful and what's the addiction key, right?
Mhm.
And that's what's coming for us all. I think it's fascinating and beautiful, but it's also going to create a lot of difficulty is identity disruption. As world is changing really rapidly with AI, which it is, we're gonna be letting go of our old identities. The more we're stuck in them, and it's really hard to even gauge that, but so it's a sort of a theoretical conversation. But the more we cling to, I am this is my identity, this is my job, the harder the fall is going to be of the disruption that's happening right now. And the more we can align with me, this is what I feel, this is my mission, this is what I'm here to do, the more we can mix and match identities fluidly and live out. I hate this word, but I want to say potential, which that's not it. Live out everything that's in us that wants to be part of the world.
The intention that we bring to it, the sense of purpose that we bring to it. Oh my goodness. So if someone is tuning in and they want to connect with you again, they want to get into your circle, they want to work a little bit more with you, where would they connect with you?
Yeah. I'm on LinkedIn. I would love to connect with other women listening. It's really a great place to share that stuff. My business is called Masters of Badassery. So mastersofbadassery.com is the website. I also have a book out, the same title, Masters of Badassery, How to Reclaim Your Wild and Worthy Self. A really great place to start to see the vibe. It's a self-help book. It's not self-help. It's a book about you. It's a book about the reader. And I love to hear from women. I have numerous different trainings running. I'm planning some other nature immersions. So I would love to hear from women in AI. And I'm also really interested in finding out what the pain points are as they evolve right now, because we don't have it mapped yet. But I want to be on this forefront of the nervous system training as we enter this really exciting and strange and mind-boggling time.
100%. Oh my goodness. And I love the badassery. Want stickers.
Oh my God, stickers it is. Yeah. Thank you. Great idea.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us and giving us your experience and your expertise. I absolutely love your mission and support it 1,000%.
And likewise, Michelle, your podcast is really out there changing the world. She leads AI. My heart is in it. Thank you.
You've been listening to Empowered by AI, and I'm your host, Michelle Muncy Silva. If something from this episode clicked, don't let it stop here. Take one idea and try it out this week. And if you want to go deeper, head over to the Empowered by AI, the Slay Effect YouTube channel, where you can watch demos and walkthroughs from our guests today and so many others. Like, subscribe, and join us there so you don't miss out on what's coming next. All the links and resources are in the show notes. I'll see you next time.